Hello, and welcome to a short video describing prompting, an errorless learning teaching procedure. My name is Chris Keel. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me. Let's get started. There are two different procedures to use when prompting students in the classroom. One way is to prompt using most to least prompting procedures, and the other is the opposite, using least to most prompting. The difference between the two is the level you start with. Most to least prompting uses a high level of support or assistance to the student when teaching a skill, and then the prompting fades over time until a student is independent with the skill. When using least to most prompting, the adult will allow the student to perform a response with the least amount of assistance on each trial. The adult moves to the next prompt in the hierarchy if the student performs an incorrect response. Again, the goal is to teach students to become independent in completing tasks. Remember when you first learned to ride a bike? You were given a lot of support right away, and then the support was faded as you became independent. You already know some of the components of prompting. Let's expand on that. Prompting can be used on all students. Later in the videos, I will show you examples of prompting when working with students who are multiply impaired, visually impaired, on the autism spectrum, and developmentally cognitively delayed. As we move forward, keep this new mantra in mind, that we want to do with, not for students. That new mantra comes from Millie Smith and Kate Beals, who are rock stars in working with students with multiple disabilities. Check out their trainings whenever you can. This slide should be a light bulb moment for you. We need to stop doing hand-over-hand support in our schools and at home, as students don't learn by having their body parts passively moved through an action. When a person uses hand-over-hand support, their brain is the one working, not the student's. For this reason, I'm going to use the phrase hand under hand throughout the rest of this training and in every other training I do. The only time it is okay to use hand over hand support is when a student has a stretching program, like range of motion activities. We now know that hand over hand is not an effective method for teaching a skill. To learn, a child must actively participate, make them use their brain. Through participation, their brain changes to enhance their skill set. So here's an example. Let's say you're helping to transfer a student out of a wheelchair. Let that student participate by letting them be an active participant. Ask them, "Let me know when you're ready to get out of your wheelchair." If the student smiles, makes an utterance, or moves a body part, acknowledge that action so that they repeat it the next time. "Oh, I saw you smile. That means you're ready to move." Just the prompt of asking them a question allows them to participate and not have things done for them. Asking a question is one way to prompt. It holds the students accountable. It makes them use their brain. Prompting is used to help students become independent in completing a task. We want students to learn skills correctly so that their brain remembers the positive process and the student sees success. Let's teach kids how to complete a task correctly the first time, instead of watching them fail and potentially become frustrated or dependent. Here's a visual to help you understand most to least prompting. This procedure implies that an adult will assist the student fully and then fade support as the student builds on their skills. Certainly, adults don't have to start prompting using full physical assistance. Adults have to observe students and see what they can and can't do. This procedure is used when you are helping a student learn a skill. We want students to learn the correct way, the most efficient way, to make them independent. Just remember, you should avoid repeating the same prompt twice. Let's break it down from most to least. A full physical assist is hand-under-hand assistance to complete a targeted response. Examples include helping a student to stand, helping them to write, and helping them to start a zipper. Remember, hand under hand. Show them where their hands need to be in this process. Don't do it for them. The next level suggests you back off from providing full physical assistance. A partial physical assist may be to hold onto the student's wrist or elbow as they hold their pencil to write. By providing partial physical assistance, students can know what action they need to focus on, or it can help them stabilize to complete a task. Modeling. This type of prompting is showing the student what you want them to do. You can pair this with a verbal prompt of first saying, "Watch me," to gain their attention. Then show them something. Model putting on your glove, opening a book to the first page, lining up a math problem on paper, standing quietly in line. I'm sure you've heard of visual support. A picture of an item, a behavior, or even a word is shown on a card or paper to help the student understand the next step or action. Some students can follow directions using pictures rather than listening to verbal prompts because they may have listening processing issues. That means it may take a student longer to figure out what you're saying. It is easier for them to look at a picture as their brain can process visual information faster than listening to directions. For some students, using visuals may support the student best. A gesture such as pointing, showing a facial expression, mouthing words silently, or motioning what you want the student to do provides a little nudge for any student to be successful and keep them on track. An adult can use a gesture with a student sitting next to them, or gesture when they're standing across the room. A verbal prompt means stating the exact behavior you want the student to do. Hang on to the railing, stand up, and say your name are more examples than what is stated on the slide. The least intrusive prompt you can give is a cue. Here, you ask a question related to what is expected. Let's say a teacher instructs the class to get out their math books. If you are a paraprofessional or another teacher in the room, wait 10-15 seconds to see if the student you are supporting will comply. If the student doesn't respond, ask a question like, "What book should you take out?" or "What's next?" This type of prompt holds the student accountable to listening to the first prompt given. We don't want the student to ignore the teacher and become dependent on the other adult in the room. Ask questions instead of being a broken record. The second procedure is just flipping the hierarchy around to use least to most prompting procedures. Here you will start with the least amount of prompting and add in more intrusive support if necessary. This slide is also listed as a handout, so please print it out and use it as a bookmark or post it on the wall to remind you of this procedure. Notice this visual has the top step as independence, which is what we want students to achieve. Watch this video and see how many types of prompting you can identify. Watch how the staff fades support to make the student independent with the task of hand washing.
Levels of prompting is the strategy the teacher engages in to determine what's the least amount of prompting I could deliver to that student and still reasonably facilitate their success with instruction. So why would we use this? We want to prevent errors. We want to prevent errors during instruction, but at the same time, we want to make sure that we're preventing errors in a way that allows us to fade this out to something very natural as quickly as possible. So we're looking for that least amount of prompt we could use to make that student successful. So the advantage of using levels of prompting is that it provides teachers with a method of using the least amount of prompts necessary to facilitate student success. The disadvantage is that may require some trial and error. Because of that, when you're going to do levels of prompting, you really need to consider, what do I know about this student? Teachers need to go and watch the student, observe them under natural conditions, and see what they think is necessary. As a rule of thumb, what we'd want to do is start with a prompt that we were fairly certain was going to facilitate student success, and then fade from there. Our end goal would be to have the student engaging in this independently under very natural prompts.
Good. Rub both sides.
Yes.
Rinse them. Rinse them. And do this one. And like this. Good job. All right, turn it off. Dry your hands.
Here are some suggestions. When a student is learning a new skill, such as tying their shoes, zipping up a coat, copying down a math problem, saving a file on the computer, etc., use prompts and fade them as the student acquires skills. You will need to watch the student to find out what part of the skill they are struggling with. This is called completing a task analysis, where you break down the task into small, sequenced, or chained behaviors. You can also use prompts when you are teaching a discrete skill, like identifying an object or word. Let's say you are sitting across the table from a student with 2 or 3 pictures in front of you and the student. You can prompt them to touch the card of what you say. At first, you may have to fully grab their hand, using hand-under-hand support, and point to the correct card you requested with them. After repetition, you can fade the full assistance prompt to gesture by pointing to the correct answer first before they do, making sure they always get it right. Then you can fade to just giving the verbal prompt of point to blank. Another example, when teaching students the skill of keeping their hands to themselves, you may first have to physically assist in moving the student's hands to their lap or side. As time passes, you can fade that partial physical assistance to modeling the behavior yourself, and then to just a cue. Where should your hands be? To implement prompting, first gain the student's attention. Then deliver a prompt. Pick from whatever level you feel is best and adjust with a different prompt as needed. Remember to allow for wait time. For some students, their brain pathways may be compromised. Think of their brain as being wired like they are on a constant detour. They will eventually get to the right spot or comply. It just takes them longer to get there, as they had to take the detour. For some students with physical challenges, they may have to think about making a motor movement. It just doesn't come automatically. So that's why it's important that they get extra wait time from you. Of course, when we see students respond correctly, reinforce that by giving the student a high five, verbal praise, or a small treat. Also, remember the goal is to gradually fade prompts. When using least to most procedure, if the student responds incorrectly, that's fine. Just adjust by giving them more intrusive support so that they get it right with the least a number of attempts. Avoid repeating the same prompt. As I said earlier, students will zone out if you become that broken record. And the last tip is to remember not to overuse verbal prompts. There is already enough noise in the classroom.
How do we get her to use her hands? There's that one. Don't grab for her hand, instead touch her arm.
Do you feel that? Do you feel me bang, bang, banging? Is Ann banging? Bang, 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 banging? Yeah, that's my Ann banging. Do you want to help? Do you want to help?
Good job! Yay!
That's another approach where you kind of start doing something and just let her.
That's what she does.
Do you want to help? No. You don't know? You want to help Ann bang? You could try your maraca. Oh, you are good to help. Yay.
Good job.
Good to help me.
Good job.
Do you like that? Now when you're ready, we'll do it again. Oh, yay. You want to give it a punch? You know what? I'm going to bring another pan out. What's that? Did I bring another pan? You bang over there. I'm going to bang over here. Yeah, another pan. Do you want to help?
But how do we get her to use her hands? Use your hand under her hand. Wait for her to reach for your hand. Waiting helps children become active learners.
Here's another video to show you how prompts are faded.
Here, let's look at it together. Let's look at it together and see what's over here. Oh, a circle. Yeah, nice job. Bring it all the way to the other side. All the way. Yeah, that was wonderful. Let's get more. Good job. Can you find another? Yeah, you were right. You were right to find it. Left to right. Perfect. Left to right. Left to right.
So how do you decide where to start on the hierarchy? Most to least prompting is preferable if errors have been found to impede a student's learning or to increase problem behaviors. Some kids get easily frustrated, so we want them to see success sooner rather than later. However, just remember that some students don't like to be touched, so know the student's preferences before using prompts. Most to least is typically preferred when a student is new to you. It usually doesn't take too long to get to know the student though, so you may not be using prompts for long. Everyone is different. What works for one doesn't mean it will work for all. Use least to most prompting with students who make fewer errors and show rapid acquisition when using least to most. Again, use least to most prompt with students who don't like to be touched. Lastly, consider the task for the student. Some learners may easily answer questions with visual support and cues, but require hand-under-hand support to learn the movement for a gym movement break activity. In this video, the teacher is using prompting when teaching the student to match.
Match this. Match. Match. That's not it. Okay. Match that, please. Good job.
Here's one more video to show a teacher using prompting.
So first I'm going to find a word and I want you to help me find the same word. You ready?
Yeah.
If you need help, wait for me. I don't want you to guess, okay?
Okay.
Find the word visit.
Visit.
Visit means to go see someone. Find the word package.
Package.
Package is something that is wrapped up. Find the word protect.
Protect.
Protect means to keep something safe. Find the word confused.
Confused.
Confused means you don't understand something. Alright. Nancy, now I'm going to try to trick you. I mixed them up and I want you to find the words by yourself this time. If you don't know, I want you to wait. Don't guess, okay?
Okay.
Alright. Find the word protect. Protect. Protect means to keep something safe. You ready?
Yeah.
Remember, I don't want you to guess. I want you to wait if you don't know it, okay? Look at all the words first. Find visit. Visit.
Visit.
Visit means to go see someone. Are you guessing or are you looking at all the words, Nancy?
I'm looking at all the words.
Alright, hands down. Look at all the words carefully before you choose one. And don't guess. If you need help, you're going to do what?
Actually help.
Wait for me, and I'll help you. Can you find the word confused? Confused means you don't understand something.
I need help.
Good. Confused.
Confused.
Thank you for waiting. Now can you find the word package? Package. Package is something that is wrapped up. This word is package.
I need help.
That's okay. Hands down. Can you find the word protect again? Good finding protect. Good job, Maceo. You ready?
Yep.
Can you find the word visit again, please? Good finding visit. That's what I'm looking for, Maceo. How about confused? If you don't understand something, then you are confused. Good finding confused. And last word.
Are we done?
You ready?
Yeah.
Package. Find the word package. Package is right here. Package. Maceo, you're going to try to find the word by yourself, okay?
Okay.
If you need help, wait for me. Don't guess. You ready? Can you show me the word protect? This word is protect, Maceo. Good touch and protect.
Thank you for taking time out of your day to learn something new or expand on what you already know. Incorporating prompting techniques will take time, so I suggest you use one of the visuals provided with this training as a bookmark to refer to, or feel free to post the sign somewhere in the room to remind all the adults in the room. You may want to ask your cooperating teacher or colleague for feedback on how you are using prompts with a student or students you work with, as the goal is to fade prompts from adults to make the student as independent as possible. Enjoy the rest of your day. There are many resources about prompting protocol. For this presentation, I use these 3 evidence-based sources.